Um, yeah, I was like, it was an obsession. And I think that, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Bram. I talk about fashion, luxury, shopping, lifestyle, travel, all of those things. So if those are things that you are interested in also, I would love it if you would subscribe and like this video, obviously, if you like it at the end. But definitely subscribe, become part of my growing YouTube family. I would be so happy to have you here with us. So today, I recently posted a video talking about my five, it's hard to think about it, my five top trends that I hope to see a resurgence of soon. Um, so today we're going to be talking about the five trends that I hope to never see again in my life. Please keep them where they are in the past, and let's move on. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go over this again. In the last video, we kind of discussed like the life cycle of a fashion trend. And obviously these trends are getting shorter and shorter. The timeline of trends are getting shorter and shorter. Obviously, it's a hot topic on Instagram and YouTube now, talking about like these micro trends and how, we're so quick to like turn over trends, and it's very contradictory to this whole idea of like sustainable fashion to then talk about micro trends. And I think for a lot of these publications that discuss micro trends or are so quick to be like, oh no, this isn't, and I mentioned this in my last video, the example that I have is like, for example, I saw a post maybe a week or two ago where obviously, burgundy has been like the color of the season, right? And all of a sudden it's like, burgundy's like old news. Now we're doing brown. Now, both of these colors are classic, but I just think it's a little bit irresponsible to say that to all of these impressionable people, or all of us on the internet that look to the internet for, style and inspiration and all of those things. It is irresponsible, in my opinion, to kind of support the microtrend idea. There should be no microtrends. The trend cycle should be long enough that people can, number one, enjoy it. Number two, invest in pieces that will last them for, a trend. I mean, it should be at least a decade long, at least half a decade, but now it's like you're giving us half a season, and it doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't subscribe to that idea. I don't subscribe to, while I do support certain fast fashion companies like Zara, for example, is actually probably the last holdout for me in terms of fast fashion. I love Zara in terms of finding trendier pieces at like a decent price point. But I also think that their quality is good enough that you will have it for a number of years. What I don't support is the constant changing of trends, and for larger publications to tell us that this is no longer in fashion, even though we've just been telling you for the last 6 months that this is exactly what you need to buy. Now it's out and you need something else. So I don't support that notion. But I do think fast fashion has a place in the fashion infrastructure. I don't know what you would call it, but there is a place for it. We all don't need to. For example, this jacket is Zara. It's not real leather. Obviously, it's a little like, I'll show you guys. It's super cute. It's a little motorcycle jacket, right? I'm just wearing it with misfit pants as usual. This is not a real leather jacket. It's not going to last forever. Is it a trend? Maybe. I mean, it's a motorcycle jacket. Motorcycle jackets are always in. Are silver motorcycle jackets always in? I don't know. Metallics they're sort of a neutral, but they sort of go in and out of like super popular to like just kind of like, okay, you can wear it, but it's not out of style, but it's not like in style. I could see myself wearing this 10 years ago, today, 20 years ago, whatever. I think that this is, and that's my point with Zara, is that I think even though it's a little bit trendy, as long as it's something that, could be a staple in your closet, I don't subscribe just to the notion of super trendy pieces and then never wearing them again. Although there will be pieces like that, I guess, in everybody's wardrobe. But the majority of the things that I buy, I want to hold on to them for many years to come, you know? And so I think that Zara is a good option for that, you know? H&M used to be, they're kind of like, I don't know, they're sort of, the quality is not there anymore, in my opinion. But yeah, so anyway, that being said, that was kind of a tangent. I, however, want to discuss the trends that I hope never come back in. So back to what I was saying before I kind of went off on that tangent. Fashion life cycle tends to be about 20 years, and 20 years things are vintage, and then all the new generations love to bring back the vintage, you know, styles and kind of make them new again. And we're seeing that right now with this whole Y2K resurgence. Obviously, it's 2004 going into 2005. 20 years ago was 2004, 2005. And so all of these things that were in back then are like super big now. Like my daughter's asking for juicy suits and things like that. And those are things that 20 years ago I was wearing, right? So that being said, 5 years from now, 2010 will be 10 years ago. Excuse me, 20 years ago. God. And that means that these sort of 2010s fashions are going to be like sneaking back into our trend cycles, I believe. I believe that some of these things are going to be coming back in. Now, I talked, like I said in my last video, about the 5 things that I am like excited for. And if you haven't seen that video yet, I will link it down below. I'll try to pop it in. I don't know how to do that, but maybe I can figure that out. If it's not up here right now, it will definitely be down in my my description. Yeah, where my description is and all that stuff. So you can definitely access that. And now we're going to be talking about the 5 trends that I'm begging you guys to leave in the past. That's where they belong, okay? So I'm going to pop up pictures as we go so you know what I'm talking about. Number 1, can we leave peep toe shoes where they are? Can we leave them dead in the past? I'm begging you. I am so begging you. I hate peep toe shoes, okay? Have I had peep toe shoes in my life? Yes. Have I been sucked into trends before and not been able to look away? And I'm like, you know, it's something that I said that I hated and I hate again and I loved at one point, or I tried to make work for me. Yes. I love fashion. I love trends, you know, and if you show me things enough and you show me them styled in a way that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm a sucker. But peep toes, you know, no, I am not a foot person. I don't care about feet one way or the other. I do care if you take care of your feet. I think taking care of your feet is very, very important. I think nice feet are great. You know, I have no problems with my feet. I like my feet. I think that they are fine. I'll show them off, no problem. I get pedicures regularly. I will not show off my feet if I don't have one. But yeah, I'm fine with feet. I love a good sandal. I live in a hot climate. I am all for sandals. It is my favorite type of shoe. Yes. Peep toes, however, like, why are we just showing the big toe and the little toe, or half the big toe and the little toe? Like, what is the appeal with just that part of the toes? Why? Right? I like, because and there's a range of peep toes. There's like the little hole that just shows like half of your big toe and like maybe your second toe, and then there's like the bigger one where they show like just 4 and you look like you don't have a pinky toe. I am not on board with any of it. Please keep it far away. First of all, I think they're ugly. Number 1, I think that I hate them. And I know that this is not just a 2010s thing. I am aware. I also know that they are, you know, they've been in and out of fashion a million times over the last like century, maybe. I mean, I know like they were big in the 50s. I mean, so there's been times where they've come and gone. I am hoping that they stay gone now, forever. Peep toes also really bother me. So I said I can get sucked into a trend too, even a trend that I hate before and hate after. I can definitely get sucked in. And I definitely tried to get sucked into peep toe shoes. I actually had a kind of a great pair back in 2007, I want to say, from Aldo. They were like, I love a neon. I love neon. So I'm very happy whenever neon is back. I love neon. They were like this great, and I love orange. They were this great orange neon patent leather peep toe. And actually, to this day, they're probably the only peep toe shoe that yeah, they were amazing. I loved them. But they were also half ugly because the peep toe was ugly. If they were just like a regular pump, they would have been much better. But so I did try. However, I could never actually execute it because wherever this peep toe lands on my big toe, it is horrible for me. It hurts so bad. It's like where your toenail and like the side of your foot meet. Yeah, where your toenail comes out, and the line of the shoe typically falls right on that, and it just feels like a nail is like digging into the side of my foot. So peep toes is a shoe that I cannot wear, and also that I hate the look of. So I'm hoping that that stays away forever. Okay, that's number one. Number two is kind of an offshoot of this peep toe idea. It is the freaking peep toe boots. Can we not do sandal boots again? Like, please. I had a pair. I loved them. They were peep toe, so they made my toes look crazy, but everybody's toes were looking crazy at that point in time. So, I was in good company. But they were like, they were Sam Edelman. I loved these. I actually just got rid of them. I held on to them for so long because right after I got them, I broke my ankle. And then so I could never like live out my full peep toe booty dreams. But like looking back, why were we doing that? Why were we doing peep toe booties? They don't make any sense. And not that fashion has to make sense, but honestly, like let's just leave that where it was. You don't need to show your toes in a boot situation, like one or the other, and preferably again, not a peep toe situation. um I also am talking about like the thong sandal ankle leather. I'm going to pop a picture here if I can find it. They were like almost like booties, but your heel and your toes were out, and it was like a thong sandal situation. Like let's just leave that where it was. It was a bad moment in history. We should never go back there again. Never, please. Yeah, leave that alone, please. Next one, skinny eyebrows. Now, I know this is not fashion, but it all goes together. Beauty, fashion, it's, they're like siblings, right? Let's not, please, let's not. Okay. I was in high school in the 90s, in the early 2000s. I mean, I've been through it all. I plucked my eyebrows literally every single day of my life so that they would be like, I never was into like the sperm eyebrows, honestly, but the really thin pencil Pamela Anderson eyebrows, that was my dream. I wanted to shave off my eyebrows and tattoo them. That was how crazy I was about eyebrows. I had growing up, now they're not thin, but as I'm getting older and maybe just all the plucking and like hair removal over the years, they're thinner than they were. But I grew up with pretty thick eyebrows, and it was just like, God, I wish I could like go back and talk to myself and be like, don't pluck them, don't ruin them. I remember my mother telling me, she was like, don't pluck your eyebrows, you're gonna ruin them, they're never gonna grow back, blah 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 blah. They grew back, they grew back okay. I don't know if they grew back completely just because I literally plucked them for so many years. It took me so long to be okay with natural looking eyebrows. And I think, that's a big thing for beauty at the moment. Like, I'm happy to go back to like the 2015 era of like eyebrows on fleek with like these, big ass dark eyebrows. I am fine to go back there. I actually liked that era of eyebrows, honestly. But this opposite direction with these super skinny eyebrows, like let's not do that. It is, number one, it was painful to keep up because I was obsessed every day in the mirror plucking out small hairs. Number two, that look really ages you. I look back at pictures of myself from late 90s, early 2000s, even up until probably like 2015. I was doing my eyebrows, not necessarily super skinny, but definitely skinnier than like now. I just kind of like leave them alone. Um, yeah, I was like, it was an obsession. And I think that those, I look older in those pictures, to be honest, than I maybe than I do now. I don't know if it's than I do now, but I look at those pictures and I'm like, damn, I was only 20 something, but those eyebrows aged the hell out of me, you know? And so yeah, let's leave that in the past, guys. My daughter was like, oh, I like thin eyebrows. She has great eyebrows, by the way, like really great eyebrows. Like I would kill for her eyebrows. She obviously doesn't get them from me. She has like arched eyebrows. They're super thick. They're great. And she's like, I want them to be small. I know that the grass is always greener and we always like the things that we don't have. I am aware of that. But it's such a shame to me that she has like these perfect eyebrows and she wants the skinny ass eyebrows. So she wants to spend all her time in the mirror plucking her eyebrows the way that I used to be obsessive about it. It's crazy. Let's leave that where it was. It wasn't a good trend. You know, it's come around multiple times in history. It doesn't make any sense. Let's be natural, guys. Let's enjoy our eyebrows for what they are. Let's get them, you know, microbladed. Let's do all the things. Big eyebrows are much nicer and make you look younger than skinny eyebrows do. I promise. Let's not do it. Okay. Next one, skinny scarves. Like, what were we doing? I'm going to pop up some pictures if I can. Obviously, I'm sure I can find them. There'll be pictures up here. It didn't keep your neck warm. It wasn't as pretty as a necklace. It, like, honestly, one of the worst trends ever. I hated it then. I did not partake. I hate it now. I think it's so ugly. Like those long, skinny, like, they weren't even like a heavy material. They were like a cheesecloth or something. They just like, what was that even for, guys? Let's not bring that back. Leave that where it was. It was like a blip in fashion history, like a mistake. Let's just leave that where it was. I don't even need to get too far into this. It's stupid. It doesn't keep you warm. There's no function and it's not cute. So what's the point? I understand that all fashion doesn't need to be functional. I'm on board with that. I actually am not a big fan of function. Like I like fashion over function and like, yeah, I'm a big fan of the way things look. But skinny scarves are not it. Keep it where it was. We don't need it back. Yeah, we don't need it back. Okay. Big scarves, no problem. If it's keeping you warm, a shawl, like, you know, like a shawl, if it, you can figure out how to make, like, that's fine. A shawl or like a big, like a, for example, like the Louis Vuitton, like graffiti scarves or like the leopard scarves, Steven Sprouse, those were like great. And you could like wrap them around a bunch of times. It didn't necessarily need to be cold for you to wear that. They were like fashionable, super cute. Obviously you could do a good Hermes scarf or whatever scarf on your head. Like if you know how to like do that and make it look cool, like I'm all for that. I'm talking about the freaking 3-inch thick skinny scarves with like tassels at the end that you like did one time around. Look stupid as all hell. We don't need that back. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Last one. And I am begging because I am sort of seeing rumblings of this coming back. And I am like praying that, listen, if it comes back, it'll be entertaining. In the very least, it'll be entertaining because it looks so stupid. But can we not do the dress over pants? Can we leave that where it is? I'm a curvy girl. I have big hips. I have I don't need any extra fabric in those areas. I don't need it. I don't need any extra fabric anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely don't need extra fabric in the hip and butt area. Not even a little bit. Why anybody thought this was cute is so beyond me. I wasn't a fan then. I'm not a fan now. Like, we don't need a dress over jeans or over pants or whatever. The only exception is leggings with a dress over it, kind of like tights or whatever, and worn like tights, or like you know, I used to wear leggings with like sweater dresses or whatever. That is fine. And like high boots or whatever. That is fine. That is fine. Dresses over jeans is not fine. It's never been fine. It will never be fine. I don't care. Even if the freaking most important fashion houses start to bring this back, I refuse. You have my word now. I will not jump on this trend. It looks good on nobody. There is no reason for it. It is horrible. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I'm not talking about like a sweater duster over some jeans or whatever. I like dusters. I think they're fine. I mean, yeah, I wore them to work for a million years. They're not like a thing that I wear now, but I have no problem with like a duster over jeans or whatever, like a long sweater that's open. That's fine. If it's meant to be a long cardigan, totally fine. I'm talking about something that is supposed to be an actual dress over actual jeans or like pants. No, please God, no. No, but it doesn't, it literally, fashion is supposed to make you look better, right? We enjoy fashion. We can have fun with fashion. I'm all about fun fashion. It is absolutely like, if it doesn't make you look better, if it makes you look crazy, if it makes you look like literally crazy, don't do it. It's not necessary. There's so many other trends to jump on. You don't need to jump on that. Let's keep that as a moment in history that we don't even talk about. Let's not even talk about it. That's how much airtime we don't want to give this trend, please. Okay? So that is it. That is my top 5 things. There are so many more that I don't want to come back into fashion, but that's for another day. These are the top 5 things that I kind of sat down and thought about, and I was like, what am I like dreading coming back in fashion? And those are them. I will say that I am glad that I am now in my 40s and I am able to not jump on every fashion trend like I used to. Not that, you know, I just think that younger people are kind of like, at least I was, you know, I was like ready to try anything. I'm open to trying anything, but I definitely have my limits at this point, and there are certain things that I'm like, no, thank you. So that being said, I'm like, yeah, those are my least favorite. I am really hoping that those don't come back in, because it's secondhand embarrassment. I don't want to be embarrassed for people that try that. Okay, that's all. Yeah, and that is it, guys. That is it for this video. Thank you if you have made it this far. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. If you enjoy my content, if you like all things fashion, luxury, lifestyle, shopping, all those things, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you can be, you know, alerted. Yeah, notified whenever I post a new video. I post videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays all about these topics, and I would love to have you here. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again soon.